I'm Stephanie Segal-Miller, and welcome to Watercolor Painting, the Art of Experimenting. I am a watercolor teacher and painter in Atlantic City, and I teach at the Arts Garage. I also am the author and illustrator of the children's book, 𝐒𝐻 for Uriel, an Animal Alphabet book. So welcome today to the 48 Blocks Arts Festival. And today we are going to be doing some experimenting with watercolor painting. If you do not have watercolor paints at home, no worry. You can use whatever materials you have on hand. You can use crayons or pens and pencils or markers, whatever you have, you can follow along. Okay. Mute your microphone to speak. Later. All right, bear with me. I have a great tech guy, but I'm here on my own trying to do the cameras and the videotape. So anyway, let's get started. You can see on my, although I can't see it, I cannot see my second video. Hold on. There we go. Okay, we're back in business. So today we are going to be painting a banana. A still life. That's what I have to have on hand. You can see my banana has turned from yellow to brown, but we're going to use that today in our painting. So I would like to just start by reminding everyone to try and have fun. And you may or may not be able to see everything that I'm doing, but don't worry, you can use your imagination. Just pretend. Okay, so I'm going to start with a sketch. That's usually how I start with my paintings. And I like to take a little time to observe and see where things are, like the colors or the shadows or the shapes. So I'm going to start this banana with a very loose sketch. And here you go. Let's see if you can see me with this pencil. All right, here we go. Very loose. I'm trying to do this so that you can see it, and I'm painting at a very awkward angle. So let's see. All right, here we go. Here is my banana. And I'm going to look a little bit to see where the shapes are here. And the lines. We got a lot of spots on here. That's my sketch, super loose. Can you see that? I'm going to put it up. All right, there you go. All right, so that is my super loose sketch. Let's see if I can get that back in the frame. All right, so if you have brushes or you have paper, I'm going to start with a little water on my brush, and here we go. I'm not sure if you can see all the colors behind the banana. I think I will start with it here. I'm going to take a little paint from my palette. And usually when I'm painting, I do start and put a little bit right on my palette. Let's see if you can see that, right? Because then you have a little bit of better sense of control over the paint that you have and your colors. All right, so I'm going to start. And I'm going to paint here. Let's see. I hope you guys can see this. I'm going to start, and look how I'm holding my brush. Not like you're holding a pencil, but a little bit on the side. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to look at both cameras here. All right. I'm going to paint with a first layer of yellow. As you can see, I have gone a little bit outside the lines. That's okay. I think a lot of people who come to me for classes or life coaching, they've been traumatized by early teachers telling them they have to paint in the lines or they have to do things a certain way. Not in my classes. You get to be free and do whatever you'd like. So we have a little bit of yellow on there. Now let's see what else. Sometimes when I am thinking about what color I should use, I use a technique that maybe I invented myself, but I think what color would I definitely not use? Now, I don't think with a banana I'm going to try a little bit of fuchsia, a little bit of pink, because that's what I feel like putting on there. So let me put the pink on. Oh, I like that. All right, there we go. Can you see that? And you can see how a little bit, let me see if you can see that. Yeah, you see how the, it's sort of flowering in there, right? Because I have a lot of water. So if you were painting a painting, sometimes you might say, oh, I don't like that. Look how the color is bleeding. But I like that, and I think I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it on there. Let's see. I'm gonna blend a little bit so you can see what it looks like, the two different things. One reason I like to experiment is that you never know what you are going to turn up with. Sometimes I do crazy things with the paints and my designs, and it ends up being useful for something else that I'm painting. There you go. I think you can see that. All right. Let's see. I'm going to put a little yellow back on top of that pink and see what happens. On top of the fuchsia. Oh, I like that color. Can you see that? There you go. A little bit of yellow and pink. Now, one thing as you're painting or really doing anything in life, pay attention. Don't bludgeon yourself with criticism and negative self-talk, right? Just because it doesn't look like what you think it should look like or what you want it to look like, it doesn't matter. So if you can see here, it does look to me like my banana is looking a little bit more like a mango. So why not? Who says a banana can't be a mango? All right, let's see. I'm gonna go back to the fuchsia and I'm gonna add a little bit more here on top of the pink. There you go. I'm blending those colors right on the paper. Let's see how the light is there. You can sort of see my banana in the background. Now, there's a lot of spots since my banana turned color since I bought it the other day. And I'm gonna take an old toothbrush, right? A clean toothbrush. And I am going to dip that back into the pink. Let's see if you can see that. Let's see. There you go. I'm taking my paint. Whoops, that's the pink, not the fuchsia. We'll mix them both. And I'm going to flick it on there. Oh, look at that. So now I have a lot more spots on the banana into the background. Why not? I like that. Okay. How are you guys doing at home? I don't know if there's any questions. You can put them in the chat box. I don't know if I'm going to see them or not. There's a big one, right? Look at that. Now, how's my banana doing? So, what do I want to do next? I think I'm going to add some blue. Let's see. I'm going to turn my palette this way. I think you might be able to see that in the background with the cameras. I'm going to use some of this color called phthalo blue. It's a really beautiful blue. And I am going to add that. Oops. There you go. I'm going to turn my brush on the side. Sometimes when I'm experimenting or I'm working with a blank canvas, I just let my hands go wherever I feel like it. I don't think too much about it. Experimenting is good to open yourself up. Not sure if this is going to turn into anything or not. Okay, so if you're at home and you have paints or some extra spare paper, you can follow along even if you don't have watercolor paints. And if you make a mess or you decide you want to change it, guess what? Rip up the piece of paper and start again, right? I think I'm going to do that. Why not? Right? It's only a piece of paper. That's what I tell my students. It's only a piece of paper. Okay. I'm gonna make another banana. Here we go. Whoops, my hand looks awfully big in there. Not because I didn't like it. I just figure I feel like making a blue banana. So I'm going to do another one. Oh, that's great. Look at that color. It's beautiful. This is phthalo blue. Now, I realize it's an awkward sort of, an awkward shape. I mean, angle. So you may or may not be able to see me. Let's make sure I'm not missing anything. Nope. Okay. Whoops, I lost my camera. Okay. Am I back? I think I'm back. Sorry about that. This is not a Steven Spielberg production here. This is just me doing the best I can with technology. So hopefully you're having fun. Okay. So it's sometimes hard to see the angle of the brush on here. If you're trying to learn proper, brush technique, I can't say you're going to learn it from watching me hold the brush here because it's an awkward angle. Let's see. All right. So now, what else could I do with that blue? I might start with a purple. I know you can't necessarily see that's not enough water. I'm gonna add a little purple to this. And I'm blending the colors right on the paper, right? I like that. Oops. Now you see, look at what's happening here. I have a lot of water because I'm having fun. And so everything is dripping all over the place. So let's see what happens if I add, since now I'm outside the lines, I encourage you to play and experiment outside the lines. Look what's happened to my banana. Let's see. Oh, well. I'm putting some yellow right in here, and look at how the paint is dropping. I like what's happening, how the colors are blending. Can you see what's going on there? How the colors are mixing and blending right into each other. Now, sometimes when I am painting, I come up with different techniques that I end up using for other paintings. I'm not sure if you can see behind me. I'm in my home studio. And I don't know if, Mike, you can turn that camera on behind me. But anyway, you'll see it at some point. When I was doing the moose that I painted from photos from my brother's backyard, my brother Michael took those pictures. And I ended up dripping the paint all over the place. It just dripped. I had too much water and it ended up looking like beautiful snow. So sometimes I find that when I think I'm making a mistake, that it turns out to be something fun. Now, I think, what other colors could we use? I'm going to have a little more blue in here. Oh, can you see that? Okay. Now, it does not look anything like a banana anymore, but that's okay. Maybe a bunch of bananas. But I love how these colors are flowing together. I'm going to go back and try another purple. And just have fun. If you're at home and you're watching or you're painting along, whatever materials you have, try and experiment. I have actually, talking of experimenting, I have a sponge. You can use a sponge that you have in your house. These are special art sponges. So I am going to take some color on my sponge and I'm going to just see what happens there. Now, I realize you can't see everything I'm doing. I know who you are out there saying, I can't see it. I don't know what to do. I'm messing this up. I need help. Okay, that's okay. Just do whatever comes to mind. It doesn't have to be anything special. Look at what I'm doing here, right? I'm just playing with different materials and textures. Whoa, that's a lot of water. All right, I'm going to just dry that off a little bit. And what else do I have here? If you have any, oh, look, I see the camera just went on behind me. Let's see if you can see the moose. I think I'm blocking it. Okay. Next time you'll have to just take a look at my book, U is for Uriel, Animal Alphabet, or go to my website. You can see what the moose look like. So sometimes when you have wet paint, right? When you have water and paint, what you can do is you can drop a little bit of salt. Let's see. Up, there we go. Okay. So I'm pouring some salt. I don't know if you can see that. You can actually see on the paper, look down at the purple down here. You see what's happening with the salt? You can drop some salt in, it makes some beautiful designs. And when it is dry, you can just brush it off into the garbage. I'm gonna leave it on there for now. I really have a hot mess going on here, right? So don't panic, right? I am not panicking, I'm having fun. Although does look a bit out of control here. I'm gonna add some more yellow on here and see what happens. All right. Now, just when you're experimenting, when I do these, it doesn't have to turn into anything. Just because you're doing an art project or anything creative, take a little pressure off yourself and don't think that it has to be something, right? Just experiment and have fun and see what happens when you mix different colors together. Or try your brushes in a different angle. So let's see what else we have here. No, I don't think I like that color. Actually, my water has gotten very dirty, so I am going to start with a new thing of water. Oh, by the way, I think I forgot to mention this, I think it might be in the chat box, but if you want to see both cameras, me while I'm working and also the actual paint, you have to put the zoom on grid mode, and then you can see both. Okay. So I have a question. So Mike, I don't know if anybody's been leaving any chat messages, but if there are, let me know. Or send it to me in a chat message. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to take a little more color and I'm going to mix the blue and the green on top of each other. I'm going to get my sponge back. I'm going to add a really hot mess here. See what happens when I add the sponge. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just drag the sponge and see what happens. Well, I'm not sure that was a great idea. I just erased all the paint. All right, so I think I'm going to go back to my first banana here. There we go. I'm going to go back to that one. See, that's the joy of experimenting. You don't need to keep anything, doesn't have to be anything specific. Now that that's dry, I'm going to add a little more color to my banana. And maybe paint a little freeform here. I think I like the yellow. I like the yellow and the pink together. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat box. I think that's how it works. And I love how these colors are blending together. All right, there you go. Sometimes when you have a blank canvas and you don't know where to start or what to do, This is what I sit down to do without really thinking. Gives me a good sense of freedom, and I'm not worried about messing anything up. Okay, there you go. I think it's taking on a new life here. I'm going to go back to the yellow. There we go. And I really liked what I did when I put on the toothbrush. All right, I used the toothbrush in some color. So I'm going to see what happens when I flick this on with the toothbrush. Oh, wow. Okay, a little bit too much, not too much water, but excess water. You can see how the colors are blending, right? How they're dripping. Oh, that looks good. Mike, thank you for that close-up there. Gonna add a little more blue. Now with watercolor, the more water you use with the paint, the lighter and looser it's going to be. If you want a more vibrant color, you need more paint and less water. For those of you who are still tuned in. Oops, there you go. Sorry, I was off the page there. You still can see the hints of the banana, but it also looks like a mango. So guess what? You're the artist. You can make it whatever you want. I am just, see if you can see that. Now what's happening here, you can see this technique. I don't have a lot of paint on my brush, but it's another, but it looks pretty cool there, right? I like that. And now, see if you can see what's happening when I'm blending the colors right on the paper. Right? Ah. Let's see. I'm just taking a look at this. I think, what about if we turned it upside down? And I think, actually, that looks a little bit like an eye. Hold on, I'm gonna hold it up for the camera this way to see if you can see it. Can you see that? I just turned it upside down. It looks like an eye. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna turn this into an eye. My banana has morphed into an eye. So let's see, how about a little bit of green? Now I know I haven't been telling you all the colors I've been using, so you should feel free to use whatever you have. I'm gonna make this into an eye. Look at that. Who knew? The banana turned mango, turned an eye after I turn the painting upside down. Hold on. I'm going to get a little bit of blue. And look, all those beautiful speckles in there. I have to say, I did not expect this when I started. Like I said, you never know what things are going to turn into. Let's see. I'm going to hold it up to the main camera here. There we go. Look at that. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. I think I'm going to go back to my toothbrush. And I'm thinking about what color I would like to use on there. I think I'm going to try a little bit of yellow. So I'm going to dig my toothbrush back into my yellow, and I'm going to sprinkle this all over with my toothbrush. Oh, I got a little bit on the eye. There we go. All right. All right. And I think I'm actually, I'm going to keep using, normally I change my water when it gets this dirty, but I didn't bring any extra, well, I didn't bring any extra, it's over somewhere else. Okay, so I am going to now flick on some pink. Can you see that? Let me see if I can get my finger in the, hold on. That's what I'm doing with my finger. See that? I don't have wide angle lenses, so I know you can only see parts of this. I'm gonna hold it up again to show you. Here we go. Can you see that? Oh, look at that. The paint's dripping right down. I'm sure it'll be fun. Okay, let's see. I am just about finished with my experimenting. Here, I'm gonna add a little bit of color, but I like how that has, look what's happened there. Look at how the colors have blended on the paper. I'm just gonna turn my paper a little bit to the side here and maybe dab my paintbrush. Let's see what we get. Somebody's eye color. And I think sometimes I just think, well, what color am I feeling like? What color would I like to add? I'm gonna add some little bits of, there we go, sorry, of pink here. And that, oh, I'm not sure if that looks gruesome or not. Not from my end. Maybe it looks gruesome from your end. I'm gonna put a little, mix a little yellow in there. Hold on. There we go, right off the page. And I think I might add a little bit more green to the eye. Something bright. I'm gonna use, let's see, oh, I have turquoise maybe. No, you can't really see that with my colors. I'm going to try something called Viridian, which is a beautiful, beautiful bluish green. I managed to drip all over the table here. And if there, I don't know if there are any questions or not. If there are, you can put them in the chat box. I hope you're having fun and you haven't been bludgeoning yourself with self-criticism. You never know when you try something if you're gonna like it, but it's good to try things. And you never know what skills or what you might learn from one creative endeavor, whether it's cooking or music. Let's see if I can, let's turn it back upside down and see if it turned into anything different. Oh, it could be also something from this view, a different type of eye or a shell. Anyway, I think, let's see. I would say, I see that there are chat messages, but I think I end up turning off the camera somehow. So if there's anything, anything you need to share with me, Mike, send me a chat message. Otherwise, I think we're done. Let's see, that really got muddy there. So I am going to just take off a little bit of color with a rag. See what happens. See what's underneath. See that? I just took like an old t-shirt and I managed to take off some of the color. And I think I'm gonna add a different yellow back in there, just to add a little more color. That's called quinacridone gold. And I'm gonna go back with another cad yellow, which is a really beautiful, oh, there we go. There. Okay. I've lost a big section of the eye, but maybe it's not an eye anymore anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, I think, let's see. Hold on, I missed your message, Mike. Okay. Oh, look at these nice comments. All right, very nice, thank you. So I think, hold on. Let's see. How much water is too much water when painting? Okay, so really, hopefully, I don't know if I'm gonna be cut off. I think my time might be up, but how much water? It's a very good question. That really is a matter of trial and error. If you have too much water, things are gonna bleed and they're going to run into each other. So if you use too much water, what I like to do is I take a rag like this, an old t-shirt, and then I can remove some of the water. So it's really trial and error. If you want something that's very fine and you want something that's small, you're not going to want to use a lot of water. So I take my brush and dunk it into the water, and then usually I dab off some of the excess onto a rag. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it. I answered the question. And is there anything else? Okay. Well, thank you very much for these lovely comments. And I think that's it. Let's see. All right. Thank you, everyone.